Today we want to discuss majorly two topics. One is completely technical, and another one is the preparation for interview. Okay, what are the steps that we follow, or what are the technologies that we have to concentrate to crack an interview as a big data developer? So those topics I will try to cover. As usual, let me start first the topic. We'll discuss the topic uh, of 15 to 20 minutes, and then the rest of the time we'll try to allocate for to discuss in a comment subject. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen. Are you able to see my screen?
Yeah, it says.
Yeah.
Okay. So many of you already knows this context, but it is very important. So if anybody is missing, I will try to cover this topic as part of interview preparation. And it is very easy and also very important in our day-to-day working nature, especially in a project execution. Definitely, we will use these SCDs concept in our development activities. Okay, so that is the reason I picked this topic today to give more clarity. If you have any doubts in that, you can able to ask me once we complete this topics today. Okay, so let's start. What exactly the slowly changing dimensions, and what are those, and how many we have those type of SCDs in our data warehousing uh, environment. So how we can able to develop these things in our big data, those kind of stuff we'll try to discuss in this session. Okay, so first of all, we'll go for definition. What exactly the slowly changing dimensions? Okay, a slowly changing dimension is a dimension that stores and manages both current and historical data over time in a data warehouse. Okay, so guys, this is a combination of theory and some practical example explanation. Try to bear with me for some time. Definitely by end of this session, you will get a clarity about SCD types. Okay, so SCD concept came into the picture in case of changing dimensions, whatever the data which we have in a source table. If the data changes, then how we have to manage our data in a warehouse. That is what exactly is the concept is a SCD. Okay, and so we have several types of SCDs based on the data changes in a source system. We'll see how many types we have. So basically, as per the data warehouse concepting, we are seeing total six types of slowly changing dimensions, and we'll see one by one what exactly these six types. Okay, and don't worry, you don't need to learn all, but yeah, having a clarity on all types is very much needed. Okay, so but in real time we may use two or three out of six. However, we should have complete knowledge on six types, because interviewer may ask any type out of the six, right? So we should aware all the six types, but in real time we may implement only one or two. Okay, I will tell you those are also. Okay, so type 0, okay, fixed dimension. Like, let us say in I will discuss in detail each type. First of all, let me walk through how many types we have. And type 0 is fixed dimension. There is no change, even the data changes in source system, we don't change once after first load, okay, in our data warehouse. And coming to no history, that is type 1. Like, if source system is change some data, we should change, or the changes should reflect our target table as well. Like, whatever the table that we are maintaining in our in our data warehouse, that base table should also reflects the same records which are available in a source table. Okay, and coming to type 2, this is a main it is a history. Okay, so we will try to maintain the history of previous records along with the current record. Okay, so we'll discuss in detail each type. No need to worry. First of all, try to understand high level. Okay. So coming to type 3, if you observe, type 2 is a whenever one new record comes, we'll try to add in a row basis, but whereas in a type 3 we'll try to add those details in column basis. Okay, we will see example for that as well. Okay, so coming to type 4 is a combination of, we can say type 4 is a combination of 1 and 2. Okay, so again we will discuss with an example what exactly the type 4, how it works, but try to understand as of now it's a combination of 1 and 2. Okay, and type 6. Okay, don't worry where type 5 gone. Okay, you no need to worry, it has designed something like that. 0 to 6, you can say those are 6. Okay, so type 6 is again hybrid SCD, that is a combination of 1, 2 and 3. Okay, so for now you may not concentrate on type 4 and 6 because those are covered as part of type 1, type 2 and type 3. Okay, type 0 is, we have to know the concept of type 0, but generally we won't use this type 0 in our real-time scenario. Very rarely use that scenario. Okay, type 0 is very rarely used, and type 4 and type 6 also very rarely used based on the business requirement. The widely used are type 1 and type 2. You should concentrate on type 1 and type 2 and sometimes type 3 also. Okay, so even if you expect any questions in interview, definitely they may touch these types. You should explain all the 6 if they're asking, or if they're asking any specific, you should explain only those. Okay, so I'm sure after a few minutes definitely you will clear on these subject, and let me go through the next slide so that I will try to explain with an example. Okay, guys, is it clear up to this? How many types we have that we discussed? That's it. But in detail, we are going to discuss now.
Yes, Naresh.
All right. Okay. Okay. So if you take in a real-time data, right, then only we will get a clarity. Otherwise, to discuss 1 hour on theory part, definitely it won't give 100% clarity, right? That is the reason I just taken one sample data, and I will explain how in real time it will change. Okay, where this type 0 or 2 type 6 where we will use. Okay, in which scenario we will use. Okay, now consider this is a source table um, is having this like employee table, you can say employee ID, employee name, employee designation, employee salary, and employee location. Okay, if you are seeing here salary is in USD, that is per annum, try to understand that way, and we'll see on this data how type 0 will work. Okay, so it's very clear as of now only we have 2 records, that means 2 employees data we captured for discussion purpose. Okay, how it will change over SCDs. Okay, now if you talk about type 0, that is fixed dimension. So when we load data from source to our base table or our Hadoop environment, we can say, okay, this data will come as it is. Okay, see, you no need to concentrate much, because whatever the source table data is absolutely same as our base table data. Okay, after reload. Okay, so let us take an example, like after some time, due to some requirement, this John salary has been changed to 90,000 per annum, and designation also changed it from developer to senior developer. Okay, but since we are using type 0, we should not change. It is only one time load. Okay, we don't bother at all, even source data changes. We don't change the data in our base table. Okay, that means if you see the text here, no change allowed, dimensions never changes. So our metadata won't change at any cost when we use type 0. Okay, So our table remains same. This means our existing data will continue to show the same figures, even source table changed. Okay, that is the reason it won't use much. It will use wherever we need one-time data. Okay, let us take an example, like when we go for any development. Okay, to test our system, we may take the dump one time, right? That dump we won't change it again and again because our data is only for some testing purpose. In that case, we don't bother at all of source data what when it has changed and what it has changed, right? So in that case, we have to concentrate on type 0. If you don't want any changes for that, so in that case, you have to pick type 0 and type 1. Okay, type 1. Same example that I'm trying to explain. Source data got changed, like designation. If you compare with a previous table data and present table data in source, designation changed it to senior developer and salary changed it to 90,000 from 80,000 USD per annum. Okay. Now, what will happen in case of type 1? Type 1 is generally, we should update the record in our base table. That means, if you see the second table, which on the screen, we have updated, first record with latest data, whichever is available in a source table. That is senior developer and 90,000. Okay, the rest other record remains same because there is no change at all. Okay, this is what type 1. Okay, but disadvantage here is we are not maintaining the old one because we don't know, right? What was the previous designation and what was the previous salary here, right? So it's completely business requirement. If the business asking us to maintain only latest data, then we should go with this type 1. Okay, which is insert override or to maintain the latest data without any history. The advantage is, since we are not increasing or we are not maintaining the history here, our data won't be much. And if the data won't be much in a table, definitely the performance will increase. That you know very well. Whenever we query the table, we used to get a faster results as compared to the huge data which is available in a table, right? So guys, is it clear? Type 0 and type 1, what exactly the difference?
Yes, that's clear.
Okay. Please let me know if you have any questions till now, or else I will move forward to explain rest of the topics. Okay. Okay. So, and again, go to type 2. Type 2 is very simple. You can say in type 1, we are not maintaining history, but whereas we have to maintain history in type 2. Okay. Same example again. Source table is the same with 2 changes. And okay, this is type 2. Don't worry, I have added 4 extra columns because in real time we may have to implement like this. Okay, in data warehousing concept. Okay, I just added surrogate key and effective from and effective to and flag. Wherever the flag, if you see 0, that is old, and wherever see the flag, if you see 1, that is new. Okay, concentrate 1 and 2 because third record didn't change anything, so I kept as it is. The first record is the previous record because this John is a designation developer and earlier salary was 80,000 USD and he joined in 2015 January 12th and affected to, like when he got the hike or when he got promotion, he got a promotion on, let us say 13th of January, okay, or somewhere in a date in a January of 2021, then his salary revised and his designation revised from that date. That means 2021 January 13th. If you see the second column here, the second column here shows that this salary and designation effective from January 13 to the maximum date. Okay, so indirectly we are maintaining the history, right? But when a user want or end user want only latest record, then we have to write a query such a way that to bring only latest record based on the flag. The flag, wherever we see one, simply we can decide those are latest records, and we have to pull those records and populate to downstream applications. Okay, and let us assume if client is asking to fetch the data of previous history also. In that case, we have to pull all the previous data without any flag along with the current data. Okay, so indirectly difference between type 1 and type 2 is type 1 we are not maintaining any history, but type 2 we are maintaining the history for further reference purpose. But the disadvantage in a type 2 is, let us assume here only I explain one record. In real time there may be millions and billions of records daily may update, right? In that case, our table size will go on huge, as daily, and the performance definitely will impact. Okay, if the size of the table increases, then performance will be decreases as usual if there are not much resources available. Okay, so this is very important. You can say type 1 and type 2 and type 3 are little important, but mostly majority people are using this type 2 based on the business requirement. Okay, guys, is it clear type 2? Because it is important.
So Naresh, it will track only one previous record, right? Or
yeah, this type 2 we are maintaining the previous history as well, right? If you see 1 and 2, one is a previous and the second one is a present.
no, it maintains only one previous.
No, not like
multi
that. Not like that. Let us say after some time in 2022, he got another hike to team lead or manager, and his salary revised to 1,20,000 USD. Okay, so in that case, the 3 records will be available in this table. Got it?
Okay.
Yeah. So those dates will be here, right? Okay, guys, it is very easy. If you still not clear, no worry. You just try to go through once again this video, and definitely you will get it. Okay, right? And we'll go to type 3. Type 3, see, if you see type 2, we is a row based, right? New columns we are adding, but when we discuss about type 3, it will add the details in a column level. Okay, and here surrogate key is not required and flag is also not required. You come to know why we are not required these 2 columns as compared to type 2. See here, salary and designation change, right, for this job. Okay, so we have to have one column like this: designation present, designation previous, is salary present and salary previous. Okay, so if you see this record, then clearly the present is senior developer and previous is developer, and salary is 90,000 USD and the previous salary is 80,000 USD. Okay, so if you discuss the difference between type 2 and type 3, here we are maintaining the data in a column level, right? That too in a single record. Okay, we are not adding another column to populate like type 2. Okay, type 3 maintain records or data in a column level. Okay, that too present and previous. Okay, let us assume this John got hike again and got promoted with a like team lead with 120,000 USD. In that case, what will happen? We may lose 80,000 USD and developer information, right? So at any time we may see only present and past one data. Okay, right? So that is a disadvantage of this type 3. Advantage is again based on the requirement, we have to opt for our type 3 or type 2, and data won't be much higher side because we are maintaining still one record for each account. though we're adding few columns, but we are maintaining only single record. The disadvantage again is a performance, and changing the column names and adding the columns is not that much easy when data is huge in a base tables. Okay, so this is about type 3. Is it clear, type 3?
Oh, yeah, Naresh. Clear.
All right. So if you are able to understand this 1, 2, 3, then type 4 and type 6 are very easy. Okay, let me go to type 4. Okay.
Naresh,
Yeah.
hello.
Yeah.
Yeah. If there are a 50 columns are there, and someone want to implement this type 3, at that time we need to create the 100 column for that.
Yeah, it's actually a good question. Well, let me tell you, these are dimension tables. Okay, dimension tables are very rare to modify. Okay, dimension tables mainly stores limited data. Like here, to understand you better, I have bring the salary and designation and location is also in single table. But in real time, salary details will be stored in a different table, and location details will be in a different dimension table, and designation details will be stored in a different dimension table. Understand?
Yes.
Okay, so yes, to answer your question, yes, we should increase it or we should add it, but not that much. You don't see that many number of columns. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, but there is no option at all. We should follow the rules like type 3 if necessary. Okay. Oh, right. Okay, coming to type 4. Type 4 is 3. I already told you, right? It's very easy. If you remember type 1 and type 2, type 1 is insert override, that it will maintain only one record, that is current record, without any history. Type 2 is history come present record. Okay, so let us assume, though I am taking only single example, like since from the beginning I'm explaining with a single example, but real time it may be different. Okay. Okay. See guys, type 1. See, sorry, type 4 is the combination of, we can say, type 1 and type 2. The second table, if you remember, we discussed this is in a type 1, right? So, and what about type 2? Type 2 is this, right? Type 2 is this without, sorry, get key. Okay. So when we require this case, let us assume, first of all, let me explain this example, I mean, with this data, and then I will try to explain with another data. Okay. So we discussed, right, the disadvantage with the type 2 is performance issue, because table size will be grow based on the time. Okay. So query a table with a huge data is again a performance issue. So to tackle that, what will happen? We will maintain two tables. One is present table, that means type 1 scenario table, and the second one is history table. If you see the third table in the screen, is a history table. History table will maintain only history, but generally we will use second table, that is in the screen, for any further transformations. Okay, so second table in the screen having only latest record, and the rest all history will move to history table. Okay, so if the business is asking or the client is asking to get only latest records, then we should use data from second table. But if sometimes business is asking, I need history also, very rarely, then we have to use history table. Okay, so basically it's a combination of type 1 and type 2. That's it. There's no big deal in this. Is it clear?
Yes, Naresh.
Okay, so in real time, where exactly this scenario will be implemented? Let us assume the stock markets, okay, or stock market rates will be change over the time based on the USD, right? So USD conversion versus, conversion like INR to USD. It may change like for 1 minute or 10 minutes or per hour, right? In that case, all latest transactions or current transactions will be based on the current USD, right? So what will happen per minute or per hour, there may be some number of times change will be done in USD value, right? So this current table, the second table maintains only present USD value, that is conversion value, and the second history table maintains all the history value. So what will happen for further, to do any further transformations, we strictly use only second table, which is having present data. Okay. So that cases, generally this type 4 scenario will be used. Hope this is clear. Any?
Yeah, it's clear, Naresh.
All right. Okay. So if it is clear, we'll move to last type, that is type 6. Okay. Type 6 is again combination of, we can say hybrid SCD and combination of 1, 2, and 3. You know 1, 2, right? Okay. And 3 also, 3 means it maintains only 2 records. That means in a column level, present and previous. Okay. Let me explain this scenario 6 or type 6. Okay. So if you observe this table, okay, it's a combination of 1, 9, 2, and 3, right? So go to record 3, that is Chris record. Chris record, previous designation is same and present designation is also same, and salary, of course, 75,000 USD, and there is no change in a Chris profile. So for these columns, for these 2 columns, we are maintaining the same value. Present and previous is the same, right? But whereas John got hiked, right, in terms of salary, in terms of the designation, correct? So if you see, the first of all, try to ignore the second record as of now. Concentrate on the first record. Okay. So first record, earlier, if this person didn't have any hike in a salary, what may be the value of the present designation? The present designation value should be a developer only, right? Like how we are seeing admin. Here, developer, and the rest all the same. But after changing the designation and salary, okay, the first record, whatever you are seeing currently, also changed. Okay. So present designation, it changed to senior developer, and the second record also senior developer. But coming to previous designation, first record was developer, and the current record, second record is a senior developer. And there is a change in salary also. If you see salary, it was 80,000 earlier, but now it is 90,000. Okay. And of course, we are maintaining the remaining flags, right? So in this type, you are seeing the different way, okay, in a little different way as compared to the previous one. Okay. But if you are able to understand, it is fine. But in real time, very, very rarely used type 6. So you no need to concentrate much, but awareness is mandatory. Okay. So yeah, that's it about type 6. If you have any questions on type 6, I will try to take up, or if you have any questions entire these 6 scenarios, I will try to clear. All right. So I hope you understand all the scenarios now, but thing is, when you practice it, right, then only you will get a complete knowledge. Okay. But this much is enough to, to answer questions in interviews. Okay. And based on your understanding only, we have to write a logic to develop these kind of scenarios in real-time projects. Okay. This is very much important.